So I started with the wheel coating on the paint, and then I decided might as well make this a four-way ceramic coating test. So the other half I went with the LM Graphene Pro from Luminus, and then CCI the C12 Plus, and then finally got to use ceramic thick on the other half of the rear. So all this started with detail coat wheel coating, and it has silicone carbide in it, so I just wanted to see what that did as far as hydrophobics. Just trying to get a comparison, see if if it acted any differently. Because again, still kind of on a search for a sheeting focused coating. Um, just like the self-cleaning aspect of that. As far as application of the wheel coating, it really um, it's a great, worked great on paint. So as you can see here, just kind of did an X there and distribute the product there, and went pretty thick. And this first time I was just focused on just that half of the hood. That's all I polished off and prepped for this part of it. Again, not knowing flash times for sure, a little on the conservative side here. So yeah, I went ahead and started the timer on that part of it. You can see see where I wiped on there. This the sign on this coating is kind of the sweating type beads. So they'll kind of bead up in the streaks, and then you'll start to see them kind of separate and stuff. So it's really a very easy coating, and very forgiving. I mean, it really goes on very smooth, and the wipe off is very nice as well. So again, did kind of just a crosshatch kind of pattern to make sure it was all covered. And again, just kind of looking at it, you can see it's starting to, the solvents are flashing out of there, so it's kind of dissipating. And again, the sweat beads part of it, you could clearly see were forming. So I went ahead and called it, right around this. I think it's about 1.5 minutes or so. And again, the wipe off, you can see how it's very easy. No grabbiness or anything. So I believe probably could have even went longer with the flash time, and it would have been just fine. So and using that level 1 also rags, just a tight pro weave, and then following it up with the final level. Swap the towel out there for final level. Doing kind of insurance wipe. But yeah, definitely came out nice and slick, and everything you'd expect from a ceramic coating. Even though it's focused for wheels, it worked quite well in paint. And they say not to use a tape, to do a tape line, and I totally agree. I, tried it here on the hood, and really don't, it did not work well. It's again, kind of where the residue was and stuff. It did some kind of funky thing, so, yeah, it's like Franco's laser level trick. shoot a laser line and just follow that. That would be much better. So basically just wanted to clean up what I could, you know, anywhere where that, along that tape line. Just make sure there wasn't kind of a high spot left from any product along that edge. So, on half the hood, like I said, previously I coated this side, but it wasn't a very fair comparison with the Hydro C6 that was on there, the C6 Hydro. But we're going with Detail Co, and we're actually using the wheel coating, which has some silicon, let's see, carbide, some SiC, and I'm hoping that maybe that will give it a little different water behavior, so we'll find out. So we'll go with some drops to prime the pad, and yep, normally a wheel coating, but now I will be able to set fire to my hood and not worry if it hits 1,000 degrees. But as far as application, this stuff is smooth. It is very nice. So one of my favorite things about Porsches is the body lines. They're just so smooth and, dare I say, sexy. They just flow and just have such character. So coating a car like this is lots of fun. I really enjoy it. So I'm not going to push it because that does have a rather quick flash time. So I'm going to follow up now with a first level. And final level. Kind of that insurance wipe, make sure I'm not leaving any high spots. But yeah, this has some instant slickness to it. Okay, so there's those two towels. Keep those aside for, I do the front half there. Okay, we caught up that half. So now the hood, fender, bumper, that's all, on the driver's side is all Detail Co, the wheel coating. And just received my Luminus. This is the LM Graphene. It's one of the Pro coatings. Excellent presentation. The card, if you wanted to do, fill out the date and model and everything. Talks about their different coatings. Here's the applicator pad. And the applicator pad has a logo. Just saying. It's pretty cool. It's really nice. Embossed in there. And here's the bottle. I forgot to, it really didn't say in the description, but yeah, there's actually 50 milliliters here, so easily could do 2 vehicles with this one bottle. So there's his, like a suede applicator. Kind of on the small side, but that's fine. I'll give it a go. I had some little orange ones that were kind of this size that worked well. And again, being a graphene product, I shake it very well. Yeah, there's an example of contents may be under pressure. Maybe I shook it a little too much. Okay. I'll just start on the fender here. Real nice darkening effect. You can easily see where you've gone with it. Actually reminds me quite a bit of how Pan's 8-year coating is applied. Okay, so I'll clean the bottle up a little bit here. Okay, much better. So, yeah, I'd say the flash time was just about right. It's kind of got a little grabbiness to it, but then it just smooths right out. Go with the final level. that's super slick. Okay, so let's go with go for the hood here. I'll go with the crosshatch. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, you can see the kind of the sweating type aspect of it. Little beads forming. And starting to kind of flash. See, it's kind of almost at like a 50-50. So the beads formed, and then in between there you can see it's starting to kind of flash away. So we're going to go with this one here. Yep, I'd say that feels like about a little better than the Fender. Fender was really pushing the time. Still kind of gets a little grabby, but definitely not a bad experience at all. And I'm gonna continue on down here. And the initial wipe. And filling up with the catching any high spots that might leave. And again. Okay, on this half of the rear, plan on putting the CCI C12 Plus ceramic coating ink. We're going to do that on the passenger side here, and going with their pre-coating surface prep to for the panel wipe. So and get that going. The other half of the vehicle, go with the Detail Co. panel prep. Again, we'll kind of swirl it. I just used this yesterday. I didn't clean the sprayer out, so we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to use one of the little suede applicator blocks because that's what I have handy. I'm going to load that up pretty good. Cross hatch here. A smaller block, I'm just doing 3 sprays. So let's figure out where to do our half and half. I'm not doing a tape line this time. Since we're doing coating on both of these right away. Actually, right between the S and the T's where we're stopping. Another few sprays. And keep it nice and close. And do our half here. This one I'm doing that trim piece. Down the fender. Just kind of made an imaginary line between the air intake and that back of the body line there. Yeah, it's kind of fun coating dark colored cars. You can easily tell right where you wiped, where you've applied. Nice jetting effect with this one. Didn't see it as well on the Bronco Sport. Continue our half down here. Okay, one last little section. See, there's no rush with this coating. Nice and easy. So it'll be interesting to see the comparison. Around that air intake. Okay, so that's all coated. Okay, so I'm gonna go. This is one thing I really like with having the two towels. So we're gonna use the lighter is the first level, or level 1, and then second one is the final level. You can see the color difference where it makes it really easy. This one has a little more plush, but it's still a great that Pro weave for wipe off. So again, let's set this one over here on that side. So on this part of the car, Use Detail Co. There's ceramic thick. So same thing. I'm going to kind of stir it, make sure it's mixed well. So this one, plenty of drops on there, because when you first use the pad, it needs kind of primed. Yep, so like I say, kind of priming the pad definitely. Now we put a few more drops. And we'll get our half and half done here. Now this coating I can see is, definitely sweating, doing that bead, starting to see some kind of separation in between. So I'm not gonna wait quite as long just because it's the first time using thick. So let's call it there, see how it goes. It feels good. Yeah, I'd say that beading is a real good indicator on this one. Can't get the half and half out of the way. Go with the final level here. Okay, so that is, we now have thick on the driver's side rear, the ceramic wheel coating from Detail Co., the driver's side front, and that's the hood, half the hood and the fender. And then again on the rear, got CCI C12 Plus on the passenger side rear, and on the front we went with the Luminus LM Graphene is on the passenger side and front. So should give a pretty good idea of what the different coatings behave like, and kind of nice with the shape of this Boxster. The front and back are similar, so it's not it ends up being a can somewhat compare the front and rear even. So hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed what I had to share, and definitely look forward to growing the channel. So if you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe. And I really enjoy the comments, so drop a comment and I'll respond. Have a good one.